Welcome to the place where we learn about and learn from the leaders in our field who are powering human creativity. I am Aaron Dworkin, and this is Arts Engines. Thanks again for joining me here on Arts Engines. Today's guest is Angélica Durrell, who serves as founder and CEO of InTempo. Angie, welcome to the show.
Hi, Aaron. It's a pleasure to be here with Arts Engines. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, I am so excited to have you on the show. I'm so excited that InTempo is one of our creative partners. And I've been lucky enough and honored to be able to see this impact that you have had and seeing the trajectory of building this extraordinary organization, seeing its impact on communities, and of course, just the work that you also do nationally in a host of different ways as one of the leaders in our field. So it is absolutely wonderful to be able to have this conversation with you.
Thank you. No, I'm delighted, and I can't believe it's been 12 years, Aaron. InTempo celebrating our 12th year anniversary. And as a social entrepreneur, as a cultural entrepreneur, you know how hard it is to, just get through year 1, year 2, year 5. And now I'm really excited about the next 5 years of InTempo, really like the next decade of InTempo, which is really turning it and becoming a mainstream organization for what interculturality means, for what education could look like, and for what music and repertoire could look like.
So this is fascinating. I want to kind of get into all of that, and especially just what all of that actually, how all that is realized in programming, right? And so first, just wondering, could you just kind of share for everyone, so our audience has, what's that, 30,000 foot view of InTempo? What's the scope and breadth of the programming that you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are an intercultural music organization. We promote and advocate for classical music relevance, as well as native instruments and languages to be present in our classrooms and part of our kids' education, and as part of our community's cultural wealth celebration. So we have a lot of teaching artists that go into schools in the mornings. We have an after-school program, which is our Center of Excellence. And throughout the entire year, we serve over 700 students in multiple districts here in Connecticut, Stamford and Norwalk, Connecticut.
Great, awesome. So that is kind of amazing. And as you kind of look at that work, I'm curious, kind of, if someone was to ask, say, kind of what makes InTempo unique? What is unique about your approach to curriculum, your approach to the way in which you're impacting students? What would you say?
Yes. So the cultural component and taking in what is our demographics? What does Stanford look like? What does the United States look like? And we really speak to the kids. We make them we see them in the classroom. We know you just arrived into this country, don't know the language. How can we help you and celebrate who you are, but also help you become part and be immersed in the educational system? And we accomplish that through music. We really want to celebrate our communities, large immigrant and diasporic communities here. And that's what we've really been intentional about, developing a humanities curriculum that has been essentially our life's work, to say, how do we really not make our work be just European-centric and focused, which it's important, but at the same time, how do we rescue the uniqueness of Central American, South American communities, composers, thinkers? And the amazing thing is that we've been able to actually speak with some of them, work directly with some of them, to be able to get copyrights and licenses so that every child in America can get access to this intercultural curriculum next year.
Wow. So, I mean, that's extraordinary. And I can only imagine for the students having that sense of shared community, that sense of identity in the art that they're learning must be very impactful and must make them very engaged with your programming. Is that what you find?
Yeah, so it's transformative to them and to the families as well. So what we hear from the community and from their parents, the administrators too, is they don't have the lived experiences that our teachers have, that we have. They cannot really connect, or it's harder to connect and understand why they're not coming to school, why they're not showing up, why they're dropping off, why all of these academic issues are happening. But once we're able to say, hey, I've been to your country, I know music from your culture, let's all of us sing together and celebrate you in a large scale concert, it gives them a sense of belonging, a sense of, oh, I have something positive to contribute in this community, and I am more excited about giving you all my best and being part of this new community.
Awesome. And so obviously there's this content for the curriculum that has this humanities approach and is sharing all of this cultural information that is so important for the students and, as you said, for the teachers, for the schools as a whole, for the community. Are there also any kind of approaches or methods that you're utilizing in terms of the ways in which you're teaching? So not just the content, but the teaching process itself. Are there any methods or approaches that you and the program and or your teachers are utilizing that you find really effective?
Yeah, so we use many different approaches because every site, every school is different. Every child learns differently. We use multilingual education. Our teachers are bilingual themselves, so they're able to connect with the families. And what we're actually creating right now is actually videos and audio and samples and tracks, so that when we're not in the classroom, if we're not able to get to all 22 elementary schools in the district, they will have our material and our content and our training as well to share it with the kids too.
Awesome. That's very cool, which of course then takes me to kind of this whole digital, right? Everyone's talking about digital and technology and so on and so forth. So clearly that seems to be playing a role. Do you see that kind of becoming even more important? Do you envision kind of, as you look forward, more use of digital technology? What are you finding in terms of students and how they're most responsive in terms of learning, and either what platforms, and just any ideas for, especially thinking our audience who are doing this work, any ways in which you found that the digital technology like really works and resonates for the students?
Yeah, the great benefits of technology right now is that we are doing all of this out of Connecticut, a very small state, but we are actually looking to have a broader, regional, national footprint. So we're able to speak and train, and we're actually going to be partnering with organizations in Chicago and North Carolina and Boston and California, that we no longer have to travel or physically go to a school, go to a district, but we can share all of the materials that we've created. We've created this one Latin America, Central South American partners. So it's all here, and it's all going to be just accessible to everybody digitally.
That's awesome. That is so cool. And so leads me to kind of my next question as I think about, others who might be thinking, oh, how can we kind of maybe expand or evolve or further our own work? Could you kind of just talk at all about partnerships? Like how do you view partnerships and or collaborating? Sounds like clearly it needs some collaborations for this type of expansion. Just wondering both how you view it as a leader and how you're actually making it happen.
Yeah, so we're big on cross-sector partnerships and strategic partnerships that will help us achieve our goals. So we're not just working with educators or with musicians, for example. We're working with the State of Connecticut Office of the Arts. We're working with the Humanities Council. We're working with the Social Studies Teacher Association. We're really thinking about outside the box. And then in terms of identifying our partners and our early adopters for this curriculum, we're thinking not just in the state, but beyond the state. And these are people that I've met at conferences, people that we've just grown through our network. And it's really, thinking, how could this benefit the math curriculum? How could this benefit the music curriculum, the language curriculum, just something beyond what we may think it's like, I can play on my violin, I can sing with my voice, but just really thinking of the ripple effect, something like that.
Right, absolutely. No, so it's such important work. And as you kind of look forward, are there key areas of either opportunity or where you think this is where we really want to kind of double down and grow and build as you look forward, a year or beyond a year?
Yeah, so we actually want to have more partners join us in this effort. And that's why I'm excited to extend an invitation to say people want to have access to curriculum. The big pain that we've heard from educators is saying, I want to diversify my repertoire, I want to diversify my curriculum, but I don't have 10 hours worth of research and I don't know where to go. So if you have those troubles, contact InTempo, and we have done this legwork. We have done 12 plus years worth of research to the point that we're able to share this with you. So the next phase is continuing to enlist more partners, more thought partners, strategic partners, funders, to say, how do we make sure that this does not stay within the state of Connecticut boundaries? It goes beyond our region.
That is fantastic. And so definitely those in the audience, reach out to InTempo for sure. So unfortunately, we are just about out of time, but I always like to ask of all of my guests, as you're doing this work and as an arts entrepreneur, as a social entrepreneur and building this 12-year trajectory, there certainly has to be some tough times and times where it just may seem like there's challenges that are even insurmountable. As a leader, what do you do? Do you have mechanisms? Do you have methods, things or people you go to help during the toughest times as an arts leader?
Yeah, definitely. It's not easy, and it takes a lot from us. But what I have is I call my personal board of directors, and these are literally friends and colleagues who I call up and either vent or strategize or think about a new business concept and partnership with them. And I'm really proud and happy to have that list. And I also now I'm thinking about just celebrating the small wins and thinking about incremental success and not really saying this is the big picture. But it's like, let's celebrate this win. We accomplished a next chapter. We accomplished a new grant. We accomplished, putting a smile on a kid that has just arrived from another country. So really reminding ourselves and giving ourselves credit for the work that we're doing, and knowing that it just continues to take perseverance, but we also need to take care of ourselves in order to take care of others.
Angélica Durrell, you truly are one of the arts engines who is powering human creativity in our world. Thank you so much for everything that you do, for your leadership for the field, and thank you for being on the show.
Thank you, Aaron. My pleasure.